Hello everyone and welcome back. Holy hell, a lot of news came out just the other day. So much that we felt compelled to give you a full news update on top of our usual everything we learned this month video. So there's a lot to cover and talk about. So here's your news update for everything that happened on just Thursday. We now have confirmation who is voicing Dr. Lexi, the Asari we first saw in the trailer, and that is now the lovely, incredibly talented Natalie Dormer, who you may have seen in the Game of Thrones, the Hunger Games franchise, Elementary and the Tudors. We also wind up finding a few other tidbits from things Natalie has told us in videos and in an interview. Dr. Lexi T. Perot is 275 years old, and she serves as a doctor on board the Tempest. She is the doctor who first wakes up the Pathfinder, either Scott or Sarah Ryder, depending on who you choose to play as. She serves to analyse the physical and physiological state of Ryder throughout the story, and the player can choose to go and talk to Lexi to reflect on the choices you make as a Pathfinder throughout the story. Lexi serves to help give the player context to the repercussions of their actions. Dormer describes her as having a dry sense of humour, which is only helped by being voiced by an Englishwoman. She appears to be a voracious reader who occasionally loans out books to others as well. According to Mac Walters, she also has a rivalry with PB and a bit of a crush on Drac, of all people. But don't think this counts her out as being a potential romance, as in Dragon Age Inquisition, Blackwall had a crush on Josephine without stopping either of them being romanceable. Natalie Dormer also revealed that Geffen Anthony is voicing a character named Gil Brody, who is another human. Gil apparently also likes it when Bro Ryder flirts with him. Make of that what you will. You may recognise Geffen Anthony as Renly Baratheon from Game of Thrones, who amusingly enough was married to Natalie Dormer's character. Now Biofan, being the insatiable investigator that he is, may have figured out a few unconfirmed things, but given the reactions, they seem very likely that he's on the money with this one. It appears that Katie Townsend, who appeared as Kate in Fallout 4, may be playing a science officer known as Suvi, and this may or may not be her in game. And she may be written by Cheryl Chee, who has written many BioWare characters in the past, such as Blackwall, Isabella, Liliana, and Dog from Dragon Age Origins. Now I don't want to start any riots here, but there may be Quarians in Mass Effect Andromeda. Now nothing is confirmed yet, but the theory on them coming has picked up a lot recently. We also got a couple of beautiful screenshots of the game, as if we couldn't be any more excited. Now we now have all the names of the arcs heading to Andromeda, and which races they are designated for. We know the Hyperion is the human arc, but the Parcero is now the Solarian arc, the Lunesia is the Asari arc, and the Natanis is the Turian arc. Apparently, the majority of Andromeda is explorable once the story is finished. I would anticipate this being very similar to the way that Fidas was explorable in Dragon Age Inquisition once the main story campaign was finished. However, that doesn't mean that certain plot relevant quests won't get cut off before then. We don't want a repeat of...
She's still alive!
Yeah, that. Other bits to add are the requirements for PC players. We now know that the minimum operating system required is a Windows 7, 8.1 or 10 with a processor at least of a minimum of Intel Core i5-3570 or alternatively FX 6350. We know you need at least 8GB of RAM for memory with 55GB of free space, but the recommended memory is 16GB of RAM. You need at least a Nvidia GTX 660 with 2GB of RAM, or AMD Radeon 7850 with 2GB of RAM, and a DirectX of 11. As you can see, the list for the recommended requirements are also shown below. And finally, as confirmed on Twitter, Mass Effect has now gone gold. For anyone who was unaware of what this meant, like I was, it basically means that the developers have finished the game and it's good to go, which is very exciting, and so close to release, I mean, we'll just have to wait, I guess. And that's all the news from just the other day. Did we miss anything? And just how excited are you that Mass Effect Andromeda is less than a month away? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you soon in Andromeda.